Hey, David Diamante here in Cancun, just saying big shout out to House of Boxing.
Thank you, David.
Hey, David Diamante here in Cancun, just saying big shout out to House of Boxing.
Thank you, David.
Chacal de House Boxing, David Medalluta Jiménez, nuevo campeón mundial interino de la Asociación Mundial de Boxeo. Que Dios lo bendiga, gracias por el apoyo y siempre positivo.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? José Benavides Senior, un saludo para House of Boxing, échenle ganas.
House of Boxing, la Casa del Boxeo, les saluda Bernardo Zuna, ayer nos vemos en San Diego.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, bienvenidos a House of Boxing, la Casa del Boxeo. Los saluda el Chacal para traerles un episodio más el día de hoy. Aquí, episodio súper especial. Como ya lo sabían todos, el día de hoy llega Michael Katsidis Gloria y tragedia. Revela el golpe que cambió su destino aquí sí, en la Casa del Boxeo. Así es que con eso dicho, ya lo tenemos aquí en backstage al guerrero que nos dio tantas peleas interesantes y sobre todo que nos hizo levantarnos del asiento. Así es que con eso dicho, vamos a traer a mi co-host, el Wiki Chenko.
¿Qué tal, Chacal? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Listos para platicar con el señor Katsidis el día de hoy?
Bien. Así es, Wiki, así es. Estamos teniendo un poquito de fallas aquí con la computadora, como que se me está friseando y no estoy viendo bien cuando entran los videos y luego me veo así como que está medio lenta. Así es que igual y tú me vas a tener que ayudar también ahí con eso. Ya ves que tienes ahí acceso por si se me llega todo. ¿Sí me escuchas bien?
Sí, te escucho, sí te escucho.
Ah, ok, es que tú también te ves friseado aquí en la máquina y sí, como que no la veo que se esté recuperando todavía. Pero bueno, Wiki, tenemos un invitado súper especial, invitadazo aquí con nosotros. Y pues ya sabe la gente la temática que es en estos casos cuando tenemos a un invitado pues que habla inglés, es cambiar al modo de inglés. Como les hemos dicho, los subtítulos van a llegar un poco después y también hasta van a poderlo doblar el idioma, ¿no? Entonces, con eso dicho, como dirían ahí, further ado, let's do it. Así es que, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, welcome to House of Boxing, la Casa del Boxeo. Today we have with us a true warrior, a man who stole the hearts of the Mexican fans around the world with his relentless heart, iron will, and unforgettable wars in the ring. Michael Katsidis, the Great, is coming to House of Boxing. Wiki, it's showtime.
Welcome.
Katsidis the Great!
Katsidis, and Marquez is on his back.
2 minutes left in this round.
He's fighting for two.
Katsidis!
There it is.
Welcome, Mr. Katsidis. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Yourself?
Very good. Thank you. Good morning in Australia.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and fresh here. at the moment. What's the weather? How's the weather there? Is it hot?
It's about 30 Celsius, I think, 28 or like 80
Yeah, that's
Fahrenheit.
hot. That's hot. Yeah.
Pretty
How
hot over here.
about over
Yeah.
there? Is it hot
Cold.
over there?
It's cold.
Oh,
What part of
Yeah,
Australia are you in?
yeah.
Yeah.
What part
Yeah.
of Australia are you in?
Brisbane.
Brisbane. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of close to Sydney, no?
No, 11 hours drive to Sydney. Yeah.
Oh,
But,
11 hours. Okay.
11 hours drive, but it's just like an hour and a half on the flight, 2 hours. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Not far. Yeah.
Not so
yeah.
bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Champ, it's an honor to have you here. As I mentioned you backstage, we are very thrilled to have you. I love the belt that you have behind you. Looks amazing there. The WBC. We like it.
Yeah. I was gonna fight. Was it Chavez? Was it no? It was Diaz.
Oh, okay.
Diaz for the WBC title, but many Pacquiao got him before me. I was like, it would have been perfect timing, you know. But anyway, this one here belongs to Tyson.
Yeah, that's
it's Mike Tyson. Yeah, it's Mike Tyson. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Actually, we had my David Diaz not that long ago.
Yeah, that's
here
what I'm talking about. David Diaz. Yeah.
David Diaz.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we had him
from the Windy City, right?
Yeah, from Chicago.
From Windy City, that's correct.
That's
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed him a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, is he going good? How is he?
Yeah. He's doing good, man. He looks good.
He's
doing great.
Yeah, I saw your clip.
Yeah, now he's a real estate agent. He sells houses.
Yeah, I love the clip because I saw Casamayor in the clip, and it was just last week I was speaking to Casamayor.
Really?
He's in Las Vegas. Yeah, he
trains
at Floyd. Yeah, he trains at Floyd Mayweather's gym. It was so good to see him. Like just like straight away, mutual respect. Straight away, it's great catching up with other fighters. Great.
Well, you guys had a tremendous fight, right? So you are linked forever, right?
Yes, that's right. We are. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for being with us. It's really, truly an honor, as Chacal said. And again,
amazing. Well, Champ, it's a great honor to have you here with us. Obviously,
we're having like a connection problem here, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But as I was saying,
let me see if I can fix it. Okay.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll stay here. So, Michael, again, as I was telling you, like for us fans of your era, right?
Yes.
It's very exciting because we witnessed your wars with a lot of the Latin fighters, and at the same time, saw you as that kind of fighter that we always wanted to watch, right?
Yeah.
The way that you fought was. I wish more fighters today fought like you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we got to see you during that time. And again, we want to talk a little bit about your story. We want to know what made you be interested in the sport of boxing, how you got into it first, right? So, first of all, was it tough being a Greek Australian kid in the boxing world back in the day?
Boxing's a very lonely sport. So, it doesn't matter what race or creed or where you come from, because boxing is that one sport where respect is earned, and being a fighter, it's so lonely. Like you do the training all the time. You do the training, and eventually guys say they fight for the fans and all the rest of it. But ultimately, when you get hit hard, that question is asked upon yourself: do you want to be there?
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter. All this outside stuff is just irrelevant. It's just all irrelevant. For me, when I was in there, I just want to, if they move backward, I want to go forward. They went the side, I want to go the side. I didn't want to give them a gap. I just wanted to get the job done the whole way through. That's just how I like the fight. And these days, there's a different take on it. How people want to play the game, and it's like
I wanted to touch on, right, which is sorry. You touched on something, which is being punched, right? So one of the questions that we always ask our guests is what was the punch that that brought you, that changed your destiny, right? What made you become a fighter? What prompted that decision? Let's say it that way.
Yeah, it's well, like, so when I, from a young age, my upbringing, my parents were great. Don't get me wrong. I have fantastic parents. And I suppose as a kid, when you deal with trauma and things happen, you I know you feel like sometimes people weren't there to protect me. So and the psychology of it is like this, I think. So when other kids were in trouble at school and stuff like that, I thought it was my responsibility to protect them. So then I would get in the fights for them. I'd take on their fights, because when I was younger, some people weren't there to protect me. So that's just, I grew up when I was fighting, and I was friends at school with a lot of the nerds. I look after them, and it's just how I was. But then, because having that mentality, I really learned. I had to learn how to fight, didn't I? Right. So, and I thought, I saw the Rocky movie, right? I was like 7 years old, and when I saw the Rocky, that's right, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy, And believe it or not, for my first 5 professional fights, they called me Rocky. Rocky is my name, my fight name. And then it went on to be Katsidis the Great, like Achilles, and
Achilles,
Well, you did emulate the style of Rocky for sure. You bleed a lot. You fight like that.
Hey, dude, I love you. It's like hecky, right? But I had to learn how to fight because I was taking on these big fights, and I didn't necessarily have the tools to be able to do what I was doing. So, I watched the Rocky movies, and I went down to the gym, and I got punched up. I got 2 black eyes. And then, but then I come back the next week and I only got 1 black eye. I went, I come home. I said, Mom, Dad, I only got 1 black eye. For me, that's a win. Anything was a win. And I just went, even if I was just like 1% better all the time, 1%, is eventually that I got there. I remember watching, we were just talking about Casameo. I was watching him on when the pay TV first came out here in Australia. I was watching him fight. I was a kid. I was like 17 years old. I was watching him. And then one day I looked across the ring and I'm fighting the guy.
Wow.
So it's just like that. It can happen. But yeah.
So
were they a lot of gyms over there in Australia?
Gyms, yeah. There's a lot of gyms.
Yeah, like boxing gyms.
Yeah, there are actually. There are. But the thing with Australia is, like, in America, you've got like just say Los Angeles or California alone. There's like the population is just so many people there. Where in Australia we have so much land, and it's not so compact. Like like as I said to you before, it's 11 hours to drive to Sydney, in New South Wales. But it's it's not as condensed like it is in America. So for people to get to fights and things happen, there's nowhere near the activity that you guys have over there, like in Mexico and America. It's different. It's different.
Were there any like Australian boxers like that were your heroes, or were people that you followed? Because I know that back in the 90s we had Kostya Tszyu that was fighting for Australia, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Like, so I went to the Olympic Games with Danny Green. So and I might touch base with him every now and then. He's doing really great, and coming up in boxing, and in business as well. He's really kicked on at like a new level, and it's super good what he's doing. And Anthony Mundine, he come over to watch my fight against Casameo. I caught up with Jeff Fennick and Billy Dibb the other day. We've got a guy coming through at the moment called Jaya Patea. Do you guys know? No.
Yes.
Yeah. He's going to be exciting, man. He's going to be exciting. Yeah, Patea. Yeah. Like, Danny Gill. Daniel Gill from Australia. Yeah. And even just with Billy Dibb, the stories that he was telling me about how he got the fight with Amir Khan and and how that went. It was just like, it's just like hectic stuff. I was sitting in a room, guys, with 14 world champions at one time. All in the one time, we're just sitting in one room, just talking shop. It was amazing. It was just amazing. Yeah.
Were you there at the Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao fight?
Yeah, of course I was there. I meant to be seeing Jeff Horn this morning, actually.
Okay.
Now that you mentioned that,
but
I was there. I was there. Yeah, I mean, see, it's the boxing world is so small, but yeah. And after the fight, because I was I was at that fight and I was walking around with some number plates for a car that said Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man. I love Pacquiao, right? And I caught him after the fight. I knew he'd be feeling a bit, he come for a holiday. He come for a holiday in Australia and he got turned upside down. Like it was, yeah. That's a lesson for everyone, I guess.
I know.
Yeah, right. And then, but I had the number plates and I got him I said, "Hey, Manny," and he goes, "Hey, Michael Katsidis." He knew who I was. And he signed the number plates for me, the Manny Pacquiao number plates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Jeff Fennick when I started watching boxing when he had that fight with Asuma Nelson that he should have won, right?
Yeah,
he should have won that for title, right?
Yeah.
But then lost, and I was like, "Oh my God, how could that happen?" Right?
Did you know that? Do you know they reversed that?
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They did. It's WBC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they reversed it.
They did?
That decision got reversed. It was like within the last 10. I'd be lying for this boxer memory thing, but it's like 5. They reversed it. They reversed the decision. Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff as well regularly. He was there the other day when we all got together. So, yeah.
Well, he was one of my early heroes in boxing.
Yeah.
So I remember clearly. But Chacal, if you want to, let's talk about his pro career. If we want to ask that question.
Oh, so the amateur, you already went to it?
Yeah.
My amateur career?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wanted to ask you about your amateur career, Michael, is your Olympic experience, right?
Yeah.
Because you did represent your country
Australia,
for the Olympics. So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about that experience.
It's a big learning experience. That one, Sydney 2000 Olympic Games, and that's when I learned where Australia really was on the boxing map. So we were going around. We had a German coach. His name was Bodo Andreas, and he was teaching us the way. And we were literally learning how to throw jabs and right hands because we didn't know to step with our punches. Like there's parallel boxing and diagonal boxing. Do you guys know parallel boxing and diagonal boxing? You guys are familiar with you throw your left hand, you step with your left hand. You throw your right hand, you step with your right foot like this, and then diagonals. It's anyway. That's what we were doing, and when we were sparring with the Russians, the Germans. We went to New Caledonia and the French. They were all in this training camp, and we started to learn like this with Denny Green and Denny Gill and a lot of these guys. And because we had 10 that made it to the Olympic team, and that's where I learned how far we were behind because we would fight with aggression. We like this. And the Russians, the Cubans, the Germans, they'd play. They just play with us, and we'd always they could see our moves a mile away. We had too much emotion with the word fighting, boxing. We were too much, brought into that way. And whereas like Mexicans, on the other hand, man, they could fight. They would just all fight. So they were extreme, one extreme to the other. It's just one style was suited for the professionals. And the other style was suited for the amateurs. So really, you had to really know how to play like a game of tag to be good at the amateur boxing. So look, we got schooled, and but I did learn a lot, and I managed to brawl my way through a couple of fights. But then when I got up to fighting Kazakhstan, they just played. They do that. Yeah, it was amazing what I saw. It was great. So it was a big learning experience for me.
Great. And
that's great. Okay. Go, Wiggy.
How is it that you decided to move forward into the pro career?
Because I'd done everything that I could hope to achieve. All I wanted to do was to go to the Olympic Games. So I'd done that. And then A lot of my thanks through my amateur career was for a trainer that I had, Mick Beatros, a Lebanese guy from Toowoomba, a great guy, and he still trains kids out of the PCYC. And it was that time and effort that he put into me. He put everything he could, and he brought me as far as I could go. And to this very day, I'm so thankful for what he offered. And then I went on to excel in the professional ranks because it was my style was more suited. Because let's just say, like professional boxing, as you guys know, it's the hurt business. So you want to get in there and you test your will against another's will, and it's like a game of chess as well. And you're in there and you're doing it, and and hitting hard. That's one thing that I noticed. Like some guys, they could have the all the ability in the world, but as soon as you hit them hard, man, that ability come back. The shorten their boxing skills. They just keep hitting them hard and hitting off, and that was always my answer. But it's those thinkers that like Marquez and that you hit them hard, and man, they'll just start doing
We will get to that, but what you mentioned, like the professional boxing is something else. It's also about the entertainment business, and you have to entertain. And one of the things that I saw, and I wanted you to talk about you when you turned pro, and what do you remember for those early days in your professional career, was that when you started with a streak of like 8 knockouts, and then I think you went to decision one time, and then you did another 13 knockout streak. So you were like a very good ticket for any promoter before you even got to your world title shot. You basically had like all wins and all by knockouts except one guy. What do you remember with your first time when you went to decision? Because it wasn't a 10-round fight, and he was, I think, with a guy that you beat before by knockout, right? What happened there?
Geez, you've done your research. You're talking about Fred Canecchio,
yeah, of course.
Right? Yeah. Well, he's one of the last of the African kings. That guy, he went to the Olympic Games He went to the Olympic Games
those Africans, right? They come tough.
Man.
They're rough.
Yeah. Like I got him the first time. I got him. A bit of surprise, but the next time that we fought, he come ready. And like if you want to stay away from the right hand, then you start circling to your right. He come ready, and I remember. So this is Australia. Sometimes in Australia, you fight in some hard, rugged places, and I think it would have been like my 7th. I forget what number fight it was, but
it was like your 9th fight because you have like 8 knockouts straight.
Yeah, I was gonna go on to say that the roof was really low. I remember having heat exhaustion off that fight because the guy had too many answers for me. I couldn't. I just wanted to get him out of there. I just wanted to knock him out, but I couldn't. He had too many answers. And I remember getting heat exhaustion after that because I couldn't knock him out. I tried so hard, and I remember sitting in the shower after going, "Wow, that was just so hot and the heat." But the guy had too many answers for me, and and I couldn't knock him out. But that was that one. And then the next one was against Cesar Monsot. All right, when I had the 26 stitches in my face, I couldn't get him out of there. So it was the second time.
Yeah. That was that was before your fight with Casamayor, right? I think that you already won but before we go in that, I think Wiki wants to know and wants to ask you a couple of questions there, right, Wiki?
Yeah. So obviously you were fighting, I think all of these fights in Australia, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to England to fight for the interim title, right?
Yep.
And you actually fight in Wembley Arena against what's his name? Graham Earl, right?
Yep.
How was that experience for you? Like not only fighting outside of your country for the first time, but going for an interim title.
It was cool. I loved it. It's like, because like I knew I had something ready. It's like I'm walking into a big room and I've got like a bomb in my suitcase. It's like, I got you guys,
And I'm assuming it was packed, right, with a very hostile crowd and everything, right?
Like boo, like and after that they just learned to love me because they got what they came for. They came for a fight. They got a fight, and that was like to this day. I think they got the round of the decade. I think it was the third round. It was like 350 or 400 punches thrown, and it was the fight of the year in the UK. And like, you know, my confidence just went, because I knew this, and you know, my confidence just went up too high. You know, it went too high. I was just, I was so really flying high. I think I got my record up to like 22 fights, 22 wins with 20 knockouts, or something like that. It was like,
You were like 23-0 by the time you faced Casa Mayor, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, we were a couple of weeks ago. We were in the Usyk fight in Wembley Stadium.
Yeah,
So
right.
It was our first time there, and people like English people know how to party and how to root for their fighters, right?
Man, how was that fight? I mean, I don't want to get off topic, but like, do you ever see like Jaya Pattaya stepping up in weight?
If we see him, I do.
Yeah,
he's a big dude. I was just like, we were watching his last fight, and obviously the guy that we want him to fight right now is Zurdo, right? The Mexican, because we're Mexican, right?
Yeah,
and that's a tough fight for Zurdo. I think looks better than him. But there was a conversation recently in some of the podcasts that we listened that they were saying, hey, you know who is the sleeper guy that could upset Usyk? Is Pattaya, right? Because nobody's talking about him.
100%. Because before all those 14 guys came into that room, look, I don't want to run too off topic, but when I sit in that room, this is important. When I sat in that room with the other guys come in the room, I was with Jaya Pattaya for like an hour with him and his best mate, just having a one-on-one conversation. And that's when you learn about a fighter. He's got it. I'm telling you, he's got it. He's gonna. And I said to the whole crowd later on when we had some talks in front of all the people that were there, the guests, I said, listen, you guys should feel honored to be sitting in a room with one of the guys that could be quite possibly very highly likely to be considered one of the greatest fighters and heavyweight champions of the world. It's people don't realize, but it's, you know, it's the early tag. You get that thing and you pick on it. He's the guy. They got tags on that guy right there. Yeah.
Great. Well,
okay. Yeah.
I think Chacal is a little bit having like some lag there.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear us, Chacal?
I'm trying to listen because I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It could be my Aussie English too.
Okay.
No, your English is perfect.
No. I'm paying very close attention because I told him I'm scared that I'm gonna, I'm not gonna understand you. But no, you're right. We definitely understand you very well.
Yeah, sweet.
And like when you talk about Pattaya, he's a great cruiserweight, but to do the jump to heavyweight is gonna be no joke, and you even saw it on Usyk. Usyk took his time, he didn't go just straight to the champs. He took like 2 fights. The fight with Chisora make me doubt that actually Usyk can actually make it with the heavyweights, with the big heavyweights.
Yeah.
But obviously now you can see him that he's definitely more used to the weight, and he's definitely more used to the guys being bigger than him, and he's doing pretty well. So the good thing on Pattaya is that he hits so hard that when you have that punch, that always helps. You know what I mean? Because if you're the 100%. Kind of guy that you don't punch, then you're gonna struggle, because you're gonna definitely need to have other abilities to make it with guys that are gonna punch more than you and that are gonna be bigger than you, right? So without getting too much out of topic, I think Pattaya still has stuff to do in the cruiserweight division.
Of course.
And I think a fight with Zurdo Ramirez is definitely a great fight for him. And I mean, we're Mexican, but we know who's better or who think is better. And I think Pattaya has the edge right now over Zurdo, right, Wiki?
All I'm getting at is that when you sit in a room with someone for an hour and you have an in-depth conversation about the ins and outs, if you want something more than you want to breathe, then you're going to get it. Like, I didn't have all the boxing ability in the world. I didn't have all that, but I had a lot of heart. And that's what got him out of there.
Yeah.
That's what got my record up to that. Because I didn't want to sit in there and box all day, because I wasn't going to win the fight. I wanted to get him out of there. I wanted to win. I wanted to win. I wanted to win. That's all I wanted. That's how I got there. Yeah.
No, and I remember now that you were talking about your experience over there in England. Well, then obviously your next fight was already out of Australia again, and he was now in the U.S. and it was on the Mandalay Bay. I did my research on your first card over there in Wembley, and I know that Amir Khan was fighting in that card.
That's right.
Derek Chisora was fighting in that card. So, you know, like it's funny when you see the cards and you're like, oh shit, this guy was there. This guy was there.
Man, great research, man. Because Khan didn't want to fight me then. I was trying to fight him for ages. He wasn't ready for me then, which is a smart move on his behalf.
That would be a great fight, you know what I mean? Because he was a lightweight at that moment.
Yeah, and it didn't suit him. My style did not suit him. So and with my experience at that age and where I was at, I would have got him out of there, and it would have cut his career short. But then he just sort of he did it right, and he got up there in the right way. So
you know what? Okay. Go ahead.
He did find that little bump in the road when he faced Prescott, and I think because the way that you fought, he would probably be overwhelmed, very similar to how he was overwhelmed with that guy because he was not ready. So now that I think of it, I'm like, he probably would have had a good chance against him, right?
Yeah.
No, like you mentioned the movie of Rocky, what the coach told to Apollo Creed, it's all wrong for us, baby. That's what probably they told Amir Khan. That's why he didn't get you. So but you know what? Like following your story, the first day you came into my radar was in your next fight because I was looking at it and it's like, where did I see you? And that was that fight in the Mandalay, and it was the event of Winky Wright against B-Hop. That was the fight. You stole the show that night, you know, because obviously those guys did a super boring fight, and I remember you because that was the time when you came in with the Spartan helmet, and I was like, who's that guy? And then I started seeing you, and I was like, holy shit! And I remember you went to distance, but you were very close of knocking that guy out.
Yeah. He got a brain bleed from that fight. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He got a brain bleed. He lost his license in the state of Nevada. Yeah, he lost his license.
Wow.
Yeah, no more fighting in America for him. That's it. That was all over. He went home. So, yeah.
I remember
it's Filipino, man. That's why I've got a connection with Filipino people now. They're so respectful. It was like 2 weeks after that, I think. I went to where is it? It's in California. San Diego, not San Diego.
Santana.
Yeah, and they had Mexicans versus Filipinos. Mexico versus Filipinos.
We live in San Diego. We live very close by.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's where they did it, right? So I captained the Philippines against the Mexicans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a strong alliance with the Filipino people. Like after this, and they respected the way that I fought, and that is. Yeah, that boxing is great like that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Michael, we need to get to this part, and obviously we will go back to your other fights, but this is the part that everybody wants to know in Mexico. Your experience against Juan Manuel Márquez, that war. So let's talk about that. What I believe is one of the most emotional and unforgettable nights in the recent boxing history. You know, your fight against Marquez. You drop him, bro. And I say this from the heart, okay? That's the hardest knockdown that Marquez ever suffered. What do you remember about that moment? Because I was like, holy shit, I didn't expect it. I was like, you jump out of my seat. Like I almost had a heart attack at that moment when you dropped him.
I know. Like, well, I'd say it's the second hardest because the hardest one was the one against Pacquiao, right? Hang on.
No, but Marquez going down.
My bad. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. But I wasn't really there. Like, I went looking back in hindsight, because of how I reacted after that fight, I was never going to be the fighter that I should have been against Marquez, but should have, could have, would have, but didn't. My brother just died 2 weeks before the fight, and they put a media ban on. Here's the stuff that you guys probably don't know, but like when that happened, when I dropped Marquez, the comment Jim Lampley and who's the other guy? Was it Jim Lampley and someone else? And they were saying, and he's thinking of his brother. He's thinking of his brother. I would just jump on them straight away, and I'd just go place them in the right spot, those shots, and I'd fake something and come with something else. But I hesitated for the first time in my life, and then by the time I started swinging a couple, Marquez already figured it all out, and he started, because everyone knows that I used to come in with the big roundhouse ones, right? And Marquez is so smart. He lowered his center of gravity and he started doing this. he started, he's so smart, and then this and off and just back active again. I touched base with him it'd been 2 years ago. I touched base with him because I got his phone number from someone, and sometimes I will message. His English is not the best, but you can still message and talk a little bit. It's good, but. You know what? After that, I was always gonna my career, my personal life was always gonna down spiral because my brother was my rock, and we were very close, and that's for me that hurt me a lot and took me a long time up until just recent times just to really pull it together. No matter how much I won or how much money or whatever it was I achieved, I was always going to crash burn, and I may not even be alive today. That's how hectic things got. Like Hector Camacho, mate. It's just hectic. Just the whole boxing life, how it went, and So proud to be here today. Yeah,
I imagine that probably was one of the most emotional fights for you coming off of that, right? And then getting so close, because as Chacal said, I don't think anybody ever dropped Marquez the way you dropped him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that was probably the closest he was to getting knocked out. Because you hit him hard. And that's why like Chacal was like almost had a heart attack because he thought he was gonna knock him out. Right.
I mean, we love you and respect you, but Marquez was our hero at that moment. So for us, we're like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then the way he stand up, you can tell Marquez was hurt because he took time to stand up. He was hurt on that one, like never before, even with Pacquiao. So
yeah.
Now, let me ask you something, Michael. Was that your toughest fight, or was there?
The toughest fight for me. They were all tough. Like all of them were tough because like we trained real hard. Hey, like Brendan and I, we trained hard, and that's all we knew. We trained hard, and that's just that was the hard fight there. So for me, the fights weren't the issue. I'd get more nervous about going to training, to be honest. You become at one with the pain and all that stuff. It's the crowds and all that stuff, the fights. It's all in the training. So they were all tough. It didn't make a difference to me who I fought. I was prepared to fight anybody. It didn't matter for me. But yeah, like technically. All that stuff and skill. Marquez is right up there. He was like considered one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just honored to have even shared a ring with the guy. How great's that? It's just I'm wrapped. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the all-time greats in Mexico. So yeah, you're right. I mean, you were facing definitely a legend in the make, and then I mean, I think at that moment too. Would you consider that maybe that grief that gave you the edge to drop Marquez also made you vulnerable later on the fight? That he didn't let you focus to maybe finish the job?
Yeah. Because he hit me in the Adam's apple, hit in the throat, and I was backpedaling, just getting my breath back. I couldn't breathe for a good, 10 seconds. That's a long time when you're in the middle of it. And then once I started exchanging, the referee stopped the fight. Look, it could have went either which way because Marquez just comes home stronger, right? He just comes home stronger and stronger and stronger. But it just,
it was too much.
It was too much. It was too much. Yeah, to look, and then when you go on from that fight to the next fight, like I was already destroyed. It's just then the other Mexicans fighter, like Roberto Guerrero, just ready to cash in on my scalp. Then, it's just, I was still grabbing it, and that's the fight where it feels all wrong, baby.
Yeah.
It was never right. And then when you see Katsidis walking out with a hat on, with like that, I'm not. It's just like
the Spartan hat.
I didn't even walk out the way I would. I walked out like with a dinky dye Aussie hat on with the corkscrews hanging off the end, and I didn't even care. And I even said, "What are you looking at?" before the fight started to Guerrero. I wasn't even serious about the stuff, It was like it felt all wrong, baby. It was all wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, what the reason why I'm asking you that about the Marquez fight is because obviously we know that was not your first loss. So you already experienced the loss. So it's not the fact that you are for the first time hurt or you're facing, the defeat, and that takes you out of your focus. So now going back to that, going back to your other words there, another fight that always comes to my mind is your war against Joel Casamayor. You were very ahead on the cards on that one. Tell us about that one, because basically that's your first loss. What happened?
I planted a seed. Remember I told you earlier that I used to watch Casamayor when I was 17 years old, and when Ostel, they used to call it Ostel, and it was like a pay TV where we could buy it, and I watched the fights. It was like I'd wake up at like, I think it was ridiculous hours in the morning, and I'd watch the fights. I see Casamayor. I thought, I want to be world champion, but I'm never going to be this good. I remember telling myself, I'm never going to be this good. That's when I planted the seed of doubt. I planted the seed of negativity. And then when I had it in the bag, man, I won that fight. And when I was a kid, 17 years of age, I planted the seed and I threw that out the window. Like, I didn't have to knock him out. But my ego as I said to you earlier, my ego took over. And my trainer said to me, he said, "Look, you're already winning. Just cruise. That's it." But nah, not me. I looked over at Casamayor. Casamayor was playing. I was like, I don't want to be here kind of thing. He's so smart like that. And I just ran across the ring and like a madman. And my ego took over. And then that seed was planted and whoosh, it grew. And the seed of doubt was what it was. And that was my first loss.
That fight, not many people can come back from a first round like the one you had, right? You got knocked down twice. And then the immediate next round, I would say even that same round, you were already tagging him, and then that continued until you dropped him out almost outside. I think outside the ring, right? Which
did knock him out of the ring. He had to get back in the ring.
Which not many people can do that, right? So a lot of firsts right there, but I was really impressed, not only with the way you were throwing your jab at a guy as crafty as Joel, but the body work that you were were doing there. Because I think one of the most underrated things about your style was the way that you went to the body. You went to the body hard, and that lowered the defense of these guys. But again, as you said, you got a little greedy. That created an opening for him, right?
100%. Yes.
Are there any other fights in your career that you think don't get enough credit as those two?
Like even my second professional fight, I fought for the national title. I fought a 12-round fight for my second professional fight. People don't look at that. And the guy that I fought against was a guy that was like a two-time Olympian, James Swan. I fought him as an amateur, and he beat me. We were doing 5-2s back then. I fought him in Northern Territory, and I was coming home strong to take him out, and then someone got the power cords and went, the lights went out. The lights only in Australia, right? And then he recovered, and then it went the distance, and then he won it, right? That was an amateur fight. So I remember that fight, and
so the lights went out.
It was only in Australia, mate. Only in Australia, lights went out, right? And then and then he recovered, and then he won the fight. So because we were in the same Olympic team, right? So then anyway, years later, he's turned pro. He's become the Australian champion. I turned pro later. And then I won a state title for my first fight. And then I was fighting an Australian professional title for my second fight against him. And that song "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins?
Yeah.
I walked out to that one like, I know you know, I know you know that I know you know, And then I walked out there and I got him, man. And I fought him for 12 rounds. 12 rounds. And Yeah, I won the Australian, the national title.
Wow.
That's crazy that
that's
your
something.
second fight, your second fight, you're fighting 12 rounds and for a national title. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Yeah. So and that stands out. Like, of course, we spoke about Graham Hill fight earlier, but another one where I was really coming into my own was the fight before the fight against Kevin Mitchell. He was like, his record was up there. Hey, like 31. There's 31-1. His record, 31-1.
Oh yeah,
Kevin,
31-0. No, he was undefeated.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, no, he wasn't undefeated. Yeah, so it didn't mean shit to me.
He wasn't undefeated.
Yeah, and because I had to train hard anyway, and like the sort of training I was doing there was like getting up at like ridiculous hours and training when it was freezing cold because we had to get used to the cold. Like that thing there, stuff there that promoters do in other fighters. In their fighters' interests like that, like, man, you put someone from a warm country, you put them in the cold like that, man, it shivers to your bones. Hey, it takes a long time to adjust to that stuff. So we had to like acclimatize and get it, and and we did that. We did that hard work. It was like, you get in a singlet and you go train in the freezing cold. I tell you now, it's going to change your life. It's yeah.
So Michael, like, just to summarize this part, what would you say is your biggest moment as a professional? What would we say your biggest accomplishment? What would be the fight that you're most proud of? I want to close with that on that bit.
Look, I'm proud that I took that fight against Marquez. That was the biggest part right there. Like, well, we were 2.5 weeks away from fighting Marquez. And hearing that my brother died that day, could you imagine, like, your brother? Yeah, like, turn your phone off, come to the gym right now. I got there and I said to my trainer, I said, "It's my brother, isn't it?" He goes, "Yeah." I just fell to the ground, man. I just started crying and couldn't stop it. And then putting on the wraps that day to fight against the pound for pound best fighter in the world. I put on the wraps. I did 12 3-minute rounds that day. The day my brother died, that's a proud moment for me. And and I wasn't just doing it for me. I was doing it for, I want his memory too. And so I don't know how to say this. A lot of trauma came with that, and I didn't deal with it in the best way. I think, when I look back, and I suppose, 2 months ago I caught up with Terence Crawford. He was in Australia, and and I said to Terence, I said, "How did you deal with it?" They give me the mic, and I asked him some questions in front of a group of people, and he goes, "Yeah, I know who you are, bro. I was scouting you out years ago. I know who you are and stuff." And then he started talking. It was cool. I said, "But how did you deal with adversity? How did you deal with when you lost someone?" I want to know, like, how, and it's how he viewed it. But he used, because almost every year he would lose someone close to him before big fights too. So he would use that loss and he would honor that person. Is how he looked at it. But it's just that simple thing, like a mindset that he took on board that way. But that's my mentality. His mentality is different. Like, I'm just like, I want to fight. I love a war. I love a war, and and I had to take the hard road, didn't I? Get them all emotional about it, and you charge that way. Anyway, that was interesting. I learned what Terence Crawford did about it, and I suppose that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, also the fight with Juan Diaz, that was a very razor edge decision that I think it could have gone either way. You know what I mean? And it could have changed, the shape of your career. Maybe you wouldn't even had the fight with Marquez if you would have won that fight with Juan Diaz. That actually he's scheduled to come to the show in probably 2 weeks or something like that. We will tell him that we had you here, and that you say hi. But Champ, let's talk about something that every fighter eventually faces, right? And it's retirement. How hard was that decision for you?
Obviously, it was pretty hard because, like, I had a fight about 2 months ago,
Oh, really?
I'm not even joking, man. I put on the gloves and I went. I love it. I love it. Like I went to a tent. There's an old fighting tent when they got all these fighters and they call on everyone in the town and say, all right, who's the toughest guy? Who's the toughest guy? And I know the guy that runs it, right? I said, fuck it, I want to do this. He goes, might make you want to, yeah, come on, let's do it. I put on the gloves and I fought this guy, a real big guy. I fought him. It's such a dumb move, man, because like guys like me don't need to be getting punched at this age, you know? It's like, it's not even, I didn't even do it for the money. It's not even money. It's like, because I've got this company now called Boxing Life, and it's about giving people second chances. It's about alternate programs as opposed to going to jail. And it's this company, and I need backing to do it. I need support to do it, because the government spends a lot of money. It spends $2 million per year per youth that they send to prison. That's what, because I've been through all this. We'll talk about it later if you want. But so I did that fight to raise money for this, and it started the ball rolling, and you know, with a few political people and stuff, because I made a statement there. I put the gloves on for that reason. But yeah, man, I miss it. I do. I miss it. But that's what, and I spend my days now just training people, passing on my knowledge, and I'm pretty select with who I train and how I train. Take my time, because I'm pretty passionate about what I do, and you know, you have to assess the person that you're training, and then you see and you pass on that knowledge to them, and that's just what I do. It's too easy for me. I like it.
Great. Wiggy?
So that's basically what you've been doing since
it keeps me alive. It keeps me alive. I'm still involved in the sport somewhat, and you know, the best way to keep something sometimes is by giving it away. Like there's no way anyone's ever going to risk. Like, look, put yourself in your Marquez shoes. Like, look at what he's achieved, man. Like when he's just iced Manny Pacquiao. Think about that. Like, poosh, he's out cold. Like, how's anyone ever gonna meet that level of high? Like, that's such a big achievement. Like, it's like,
that's what I was gonna say. If Manny Pacquiao can come back, you can come back too, right?
Yeah.
Tyson.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about no. Like
you really want to copy his Rocky's life, right? He came back when he was like 60 years old against Antonio Tarver.
Be realistic about it. No one's even going to pay a couple $100,000 to see this whole duck fight. You know, it's just got to be realistic about it. We're going to talk about what makes sense here. You know, I've got kids to feed.
That's great. That's great. So, champ, let's do a little of fantasy matchmaking. I mean, I'm not sure how close you are to the sport and to the guys that are fighting right now. But I mean, you fought at 135. How do you see yourself doing against the new generation? Let's say, for example, this prima donna of Ryan Garcia. What do you think?
Man, I look. Oh, Garcia.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia.
That's hard because he's sort of unpredictable and rangy sort of guy, right? Yeah, like I jump all over him. Hey, like I jump all over and hit him real hard always. So, but he's pretty slick also. That one would have been really tough, man, because Ryan Garcia is he's a bit of a thinker too, and he's awkward. That one would have been really difficult. It would have been really difficult. That could have been upset either which way, because remember, he doesn't like the body shots. Yep. He doesn't like the body shots, so that works in my favor. Boxing's like rolling the dice, right? So sometimes you're going to come up with a body shot. Sometimes you're going to catch me with my hand down, rushing in at him. So you can go either which way.
How about Devin Haney? How would you see yourself against that guy?
Devin Haney. Oh, yeah. So, look, I relate Devin Haney of that day, that era, that time, how he is, very similar to what Kevin Mitchell was like, but different. I would have jumped all over him. That's how I would have been. I wouldn't have, every time he moved back, like George Kambosos didn't do stuff all with him, right? But he didn't have, like, I would not give him any room, so I've got me with Devin Haney.
How about go ahead.
What about Teofimo Lopez?
Teofimo Lopez. Oh, you know, I just saw Kambosos beat him. And then after that, I didn't really. Yeah, I saw Kambosos beat him, hey, but
he's so unpredictable, right? He's like he has his highs and lows.
Yeah, like that, yeah. But look, it's hard for me to say either which way because like at my very best, I was matching it with the pound for pound best fighters in the world. You got a guy that's prepared to take a hit to give a hit, and is going to keep going. That's like I rated myself to fight anybody. I mean, you can't say that it's not true. And when I say that, because man, you look at Marcus Maidana. Man, look at him when he fought against Mayweather. That first fight. Come on, man. Let's be honest about it. Like, come on. Like, man, you have all those skills and words. When you got someone that is as willing as Marcus Maidana and as willing as what I was, man, like anything can happen. So, like, I don't, you know, someone like Tank even too. Like, you were going to say about Tank, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's just say, look at where him and Pitbull, same thing. Roll the dice. You know, and I think Tank's been exposed somewhat now.
Yep.
But
with Roach.
And finally, the last one, Lomachenko. How would you see yourself against that guy?
Oh man, he's good. Hey. Yeah. No, he's good. Yeah. No. He pieces people up, bro. In his prime too, but he's past it now, right?
Yeah.
But do you think he wouldn't be as competitive in lightweight as he was maybe in featherweight and super featherweight? He was kind of like a small guy for the lightweights, right? That was his biggest challenge against Teofimo Lopez, for example.
Yeah. Small guy. Yeah, no, I get that. I think
you could get him there with the body punching.
Yeah. Well, what's the age difference now? What is he? It's a fair bit. It's not, boxing hasn't changed that too much, really, has it?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. I don't think it has changed that much.
I'm 45. What would he be now? 37?
37, 38.
37, something like that. 37, 38.
Yeah, as I said, he's you know how it works, guys. Hey, like power beats timing beats speed beats power. So you take all those elements into play.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's like you look at him like Marquez. He's a Mexican, but his timing is
so good.
And you know he's got, but Mexicans are renowned for the power. They got power, and so that timing, someone's got something good out of everything. It's just, I thought he handled Mayweather as right as well. You look at the Mayweather fight when Marquez fought Mayweather, like 700 pound. How many pound? What was it? 700 grams was it? The weight difference. 7 pounds.
He jumped from lightweight from 135 to 147, so it was like 12 pounds. He looks small.
But Mayweather weighed in on that fight. He weighed he's such a smart operator, Mayweather. Come on, let's be honest about it. He's no one knows that he paid like $2 million, $700,000 was it to
something
fine?
Like that,
because they were gonna fight in a catch weight, and he raised the weight. You're right.
That's right.
Champ. Now you're one of the most beloved foreigners by Mexican fans. They respect your guts, your heart, and your style. So, what do you have to say to the Mexican fan base?
I love you, Mexico. They're the best. I'm a Mexican at heart, right?
There you go.
They say you're a Mexican, bro. You're a Mexican. My best friends were Mexicans. Big shout out to Poncho, Francisco Ramirez.
Nice.
Yeah,
Shout
he's one
out
of my
to
best
Poncho.
friends. Yeah, and Fernando Torres, my best friends there in America. Mexicans. Take the Rosarito. I love them guys.
Oh, Rosarito. It's close to where we were raised. We were raised in Tijuana.
Right.
That's where, we were born we were born in San Diego, raised in Tijuana.
And Poncho, Francisco Ramirez, my very close friend, mate, many years. I was in the States for 6 years. Yeah,
did you go to Rosarito? Do you have a chance to go to Rosarito in Tijuana?
Oh, I'd love to.
Did you go or no? You never went?
No, I went. There's the guy. He used to take me there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to eat Chinese food in Tijuana?
I don't know what, mate. You're talking about the hot chilies, right? You're talking about the hot chilies, right?
Yeah,
mate. I thought I was gonna die, bro. I thought I was gonna die. Like that's it. I'm Katsidis. Oh, mate. I think I nearly had to go to hospital. Hey, I was that bad, but everyone just laughing at me. Oh, that's all right. I just keep eating it. It's crazy stuff, hey. But they tell me this. Can you answer me the question? If you eat the chilies, right, you can handle it. Is it true? Does it give you a granite jaw? Make your jaw strong?
I don't know.
Well, you know, Mexicans, they don't go down that easy. You know what I mean? So probably it might be true. I mean, we're not fighters, but I mean, we eat chili.
Yeah, but still, you're Mexican. So is it true or not? It must be.
What do you think, Wiki? I think it's true, no?
Maybe it is. So, so what do you think? Like, you think fighters like you are better remembered than technical fighters, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a technical fighter. As I said, I was limited with my ability, but I was limited, but like I had that will to win. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
No, I think you're very well remembered by the fans and that style of yours. Like every time I put on one of your fights, like, okay, that's the kind of fight I want to put.
It's gonna be hard. Hey, look,
this is a fight, man. This is a fight, not the BS that we see today, right? So check out. Let's get to the final part here.
Yeah, let me get to the final part, but I want to ask you also, as a boxing expert, the Crawford-Canelo fight, biggest fight coming up. Who wins?
Oh, geez, man, you have to ask me this question, hey.
Yeah, gotta
I just caught up with Crawford a little while ago. I seen him in Australia. Yeah. What do you think?
No. Don't pass the ball to me. You're the
I don't want to say.
He's like a hot potato, right? He wants to just throw it to hot.
I don't want to say. I don't really.
We're still gonna love you no matter what you say.
No. It's not about that. It's just like being out there. You've got two different weight divisions as well, right? And then you got Crawford coming up. And how active was Canelo? I don't really know enough to really say. So and I caught up with Terrence.
You haven't followed Canelo.
I mean, but like the age difference as well. What is it? 2 or 3 years?
2-3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think the Crawford I think the Crawford is going to make it very ugly. I think it's going to make it very ugly, and I think it's going to spoil it. That's how. But it depends on if Canelo can neutralize his, because he'll just get away. That's to win. It depends on if Canelo can neutralize that, because he's just going to make it ugly. I'm not a fan of that style.
This is what we're gonna do, champ. We're gonna give you a break today, and we're gonna let you watch a couple of fights of Canelo, recent fights, a couple of fights of Crawford, and then we're gonna invite you 1 week before the fight, so you can give us now your
prediction.
Because people will be here watching. Okay.
Done. All right. Great. Okay.
Let's Wiki.
The final question about modern boxing. What do you think of this new era with the streaming services, the Zone, Netflix? And what do you think? How do you think that compares to the past in your eyes?
Oh, it's great. It's great that we've got that going on. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's making boxing bigger. It's getting out there. I think it's a great thing. I just, fighters these days to have more balls. That's, if anything, I think we're sort of lacking a little bit like that. It's not always trying to duck people to build it.
You need more like you.
Do the shit naturally. Build yourself up. Yeah. Sorry.
Perfect.
Definitely. Well, Michael, thank you. You gave everything in the ring, and today you gave us your truth. You always have a home here on House of Boxing. Wiki.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us your time. I know that it's early in the morning. You probably want to drink another cup of coffee, but we really, really appreciate your time and your word and every sense of the word. And we really hope that we have you back one day and give us some predictions.
Sure, that'd be great, mate.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you guys again then. Great.
Really
That's
enjoyable
great. That's
conversation. Exceeded my expectations. Let's say it that way.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, Champ,
Yeah.
if for the people, so they can follow you, do you use social networks? How do we get get to you?
Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram, Michael_Katsidis. So yeah, Instagram.
I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Instagram is the main one, or
Yep.
Facebook?
Both. Yeah,
Both,
Katsidis
right?
is great. But yeah, but Instagram was easy.
Michael_Katsidis, like that.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well, the last thing, Champ, that I'm gonna ask you a favor. Give a shout out to House of Boxing, La Casa del Boxeo, the best show.
Yeah. Shout out to House of Boxing. Michael Katsidis here live.
There you go.
Thank you, Champ. Take
Thank
care,
you, brother.
and
Good,
have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Good chat. Thank you.
All right, good chat. Bye. Ok, aquí tuvimos, señores y señores, Wiki, Michael Katsidis, el guerrero espartano. ¿Cómo la viste?
Muy agradable, muchacho, muy simpático, una buena plática, ¿no? Muy agradable. Excedió mis expectativas en su manera de ser, un tipo que luego te das cuenta que tiene buena vibra, ¿no?
Sin duda, la verdad.
Sí,
se le ve en la cara que todavía fue el guerrero del camino, güey. Sí se ve bastante traqueteado, pero sin duda todo un show platicar con
se ve
él.
muy bien. Se ve muy bien porque
creo que sí.
Se ve muy bien porque tuvo muchas guerras, o sea, tuvo muchas guerras.
Ajá.
Y mira, ahí está el tipo, ¿no? Como él mismo dijo, muchos no sobreviven lo que yo sobreviví. Me imagino que tuvo una vida donde hubo muchos problemas. Digo, no sé de qué murió su hermano, pero él ya lo esperaba cuando le dijeron. O sea,
sí, creo que fue drogas o algo así.
Sí, o sea, algo sabía, ¿no? Entonces, como dijo, mis papás fueron muy grandes papás, pero había muchas broncas de repente y me metí en broncas y todo eso, pero un tipo muy simpático. Siento que es un tipo con el que te puedes echar una cheve y reírte mucho, ¿no?
Sin duda, yo creo que fíjate por ahí como lo dijo, ¿no? O sea, cuántos boxeadores se han sentado al lado de él y lo reconocen y todo. Y como dijiste tú cuando estábamos haciendo la investigación, oye, pues hay que ver y hablar de sus victorias también, pero era más conocido por las derrotas que tenía. Pero más que nada, fíjate, Wiki, por las guerras que daba en el ring, porque nunca dejó de dar espectáculo y como él lo dijo, güey, o sea, él es literalmente ahora sí que el Sinatra del boxeo, ¿no? He did it his way. O sea, eso es lo que él hizo. Y yo creo que al final del día la gente es lo que aprecia, ¿no? Ese tipo de boxeadores que dan todo en el ring para entretener, que dijo, pude haber aprendido más técnica, pero lo que a mí me gustaba más era intercambiar golpes. La pelea con Casamayor dijo, o sea, pude haber boxeado, pero no era para mí. Yo quería hacer esto. Y mira, al final del día lo recompensó porque después de esa derrota tuvo la pelea con Juan Díaz, después de esa derrota con Juan Díaz tuvo la pelea con Márquez. O sea, para toda la gente que no creció con este tipo de peleadores, güey, el boxeo te da, güey. El boxeo te da mientras tú estés ahí para entretener. Y yo creo que Michael Katsidis es una de las pruebas vivientes que siempre hay una oportunidad y siempre, de alguna manera, los boxeadores que son entretenidos se les van a estar presentando oportunidades y todo, ¿no?
Sin duda. No, es un tipo que yo la verdad pongo sus peleas y digo, ándale, esta pelea, cada minuto de la pelea es una energía que pocos pueden dar, ¿no? Entonces, pero mira, tiene sangre latina, ¿no? Porque es griego. Es griego, ¿sí? Entonces tiene cierta, hasta algo de sangre latina ahí. Pero no, un tipo muy agradable, me parece una plática muy agradable.
Sí, me pareció una plática a mí también muy interesante. Yo creo que definitivamente va a ser una de esas personas que me encantaría traerlo de regreso para platicar nada más de boxeo, para que nos dé su análisis, mira, muy honesto, ¿no? ¿Sabes qué? La verdad, no sé, ¿sabes qué? Esto sí, ¿sabes qué? O sea, cuando estábamos hablando de los dream matchups, el tipo se ponía las pilas y te decía honestamente, mira, yo creo que a este sí le podía ganar, este es un 50-50, oh, this one is too good. O sea, eso es lo que es, ¿me entiendes? A estas alturas no hay pretensiones, simplemente lo que es, y yo creo que Michael Katsidis es el sinónimo de eso, ¿no? De la transparencia, de la honestidad y como dices tú, ¿no? De un tipo, lástima que vive ahí en Australia, güey, pero vamos a tratar de germinar esta relación y hacerla más como una amistad, y a lo mejor cuando ande por aquí, güey, mira, no tenía mucho tiempo, anduvo aquí en Santana. A mí me encantaría sentarme, echarme unas cheves con él, güey, y estar
No, claro,
platicando y todo
claro.
eso.
Sí,
La verdad,
esas gentes que dice, sí, este güey. Yo
ajá.
estuve una vez con Ricky Hatton, pero el vato
Sí,
no
sí,
podía
sí.
tomar porque tenía una pelea en puerta, pero el vato le disparó toda la peda a todo el mundo ahí.
Ah,
Entonces,
mira.
sí, para que te des una idea. Entonces, no, muy bien, la verdad, muy contento con la entrevista con Michael.
Sí, sin duda, yo creo que estamos muy satisfechos, la verdad, la habíamos intentado y no es por culpa de Michael Katsidis, o sea, al final de cuentas tienen que entender la gente, y yo lo entiendo sin duda, que pues, güey, es una diferencia de horario cabrona, o sea, está
No, pues de las
difícil,
diferencias más fuertes, 16
ajá,
horas.
sí, güey, a poder agendar, ahorita estamos hablando que allá son como las 11 del día, cuando empezó la entrevista a las 4, no a las 11, son
Las
las 10
10.
de la mañana. Ajá, cuando empezó la entrevista eran las 9 de la mañana y y luego pues se enfermó también, güey, de gripa y todo. Y me dijo, sabes que no puedo. Pero ya en esta última ocasión sí me dio mucha corazonada de que sí iba a suceder, porque ya estaba muy de que no, sí, y disculpándose y todo. Entonces, pues aquí está, gente, una entrevista más. Hicimos todo lo posible. Mil disculpas por los problemas, Wiki, ahí con mi internet y todo eso. Felicidades, te la sacaste bien la primera parte de la entrevista, y pues así pasa cuando haces las cosas en vivo, amigos. Nosotros tratando de traerles todo el contenido posible a la gente que no habla inglés. Espérense un ratito para que puedan ver los subtítulos, pero definitivamente vale la pena escuchar la entrevista, porque yo creo que fue una entrevista muy, muy honesta, una entrevista que habló con el corazón, ¿no? Yo creo que en momentos se contuvo para no llorar, pero sin duda su hermano se nota que significaba mucho para él, ¿no? Y pues como
Así
dijo, o
es.
sea, imagínate, güey, la pelea más importante de su carrera y que se le muere el hermano un par de días antes de la pelea, pues está cabrón.
Muy cabrón. No, vamos a seguir trayendo contenido como este. Las wikinotas van a salir en un par de horas, para que estén atentos. Ahí viene bastante jugo ahí,
Sí.
para que le echen ojo, chicos.
Ya conseguí al venado, güey. Viene pronto el Venado López aquí a House of Boxing. Estamos nomás acordando el día y la hora. Estoy también en conversaciones ya con la leyenda, güey, el pequeño gigante, la chiquita González también, güey. O sea, ahí vienen varios, güey, ahí vienen
Y
varios de
espero que podamos
diferentes
traer a Michael
generaciones.
Carvajal también, ¿no?
Pues Michael Carvajal, yo lo he intentado y tengo la idea que ese tipo es de esas personas que no sabe cómo checar sus redes sociales.
Ya sé,
O
porque
bueno, a mí no me ha contestado
no.
y no sé cómo. Vi que el Ferco tiene una foto con él, güey. No sé si se lo encontró una vez en un evento o en una pelea, o si tenga su número. Voy a preguntar, hacer lo posible, pero ahí sí que, pues no, yo ya le busqué por todas las diferentes redes sociales y no me ha contestado en ninguna, güey.
Sí, no hay que buscar una manera de contactarlo, pero sí, yo
sí.
quisiera tener a Michael Carvajal, lo he escuchado por ahí. Es
¿sí?
un tipo, sí,
Ah,
lo
ok.
escuché con David Duanes, lo entrevistó. Y
Ok.
fue una entrevista muy buena, güey. Por ahí búscala, ahí está en Live It in the Ring. Es un tipo
Ok.
que me
¿Vieja o
sorprendió,
nueva? O más o menos
pues hace
actual.
unos años, güey, hace unos
Ok,
6,
ok.
7, 8 años. Pero el tipo es
Bueno.
un tipo que me sorprendió porque, pues, obviamente cuando yo estaba chico, güey, pues yo lo odiaba, güey, porque yo era
Sí.
fanático de Chiquita González y me caía bien gordo, güey. Pero no, después de oír la entrevista con él me hice fan, güey. Es un tipazo, güey. Es un
Ok.
tipazo de Michael Carvajal, güey. Y cuenta unas historias, güey, porque es esa gente que cuenta las historias con que hasta te duele, güey, cuando la está contando, güey. Tiene muy bonita forma de hablar, güey. Y es un tipo que
Ok.
me encantaría entrevistarlo.
Bueno, pues vamos a hacer el intento, a ver cómo le llegamos, güey. La verdad, sí, pues yo voy a buscar por todas mis fuentes a ver si puedo encontrar el número de él. Y pues bueno, pero si no lo
Pues
podemos
vamos a
tener ahorita,
seguir.
pues por lo menos vamos a empezar definitivamente con la chiquita González, que yo creo que mucha gente le va a interesar escuchar
Claro.
a ese señor, ¿no?
Una cosa que te puedo decir, Chacal, es que el internet anduvo fallando aquí en toda la zona, ¿eh? Yo
Sí,
toda la
entonces
mañana
no
tuve
eran
problemas.
tanto, ya estaba
Toda la mañana tuve
por tirar
problemas.
mi computadora ahí de la ventana,
No,
estaba bien
toda la mañana
frustrado.
tuve broncas, güey. Desde que tempranito estaba batallando mucho con todo y aquí tengo un internet extremadamente rápido y
Ajá.
no, estaba bien hardcore. Pero bueno.
Sí. Bueno, pero se logró, se sacó. Amigos, pues ahí está. Una entrevista más aquí en House of Boxing, deseándoles que tengan un buen día. Por favor, manden likes, suscríbanse al canal, compartan. Vamos a tratar de esta entrevista, pues sacarle pedacitos, porque creo que hay extractos muy interesantes de Michael Katsidis que la gente va a querer saber. Y pues no se les olvide, síganos aquí, se viene un gran proyecto. Estoy muy emocionado, Wiki, con lo de Noches de Gloria. Yo creo que a lo mejor esta semana no va a suceder el primer episodio, no lo sé todavía, con todo depende contigo y conmigo si tenemos la disponibilidad, pero ya, güey, me froto las manos, pero quiero, ahora sí que participación de la gente, güey, quiero que la gente venga, que se meta, porque esos episodios van a ser especiales, entonces necesitamos la participación de la gente que esté ahí en el episodio, que comenten, que respondan las trivias, porque son peleas chingonas, o sea, las que vamos a platicar y ya no los vamos a poder repetir después. Entonces no me gustaría que fuera un show de esos en los que nomás hubieran bien poquitos conectados. Me encantaría que hubiera mucha gente, porque yo creo que toda esa gente le interesa, güey, la gente que ha crecido en el boxeo le interesa comentar acerca de lo que sintieron, si es que la vieron en vivo, Morales Barrera, de lo que piensan de esa pelea y pues así, ¿no? Entonces, con eso dicho, se despide el Chacal sobre cabina aquí y el Wikichenko también, deseándoles que tengan una feliz semana y pues nos vemos pronto, ¿verdad, Wiki?
Sale, pues aquí ya hay un ruidajo afuera, pero aquí me despido. Un saludo a todos.
Saludos, pues, cuídense mucho y nos vemos pronto. Bye.